Hello and welcome to the Arnprior District High School Grade 8 Parent Night. Our principal, Mr. Havey, will now introduce our presentation.
Hi there, I'm Tom Havey, principal here at Arnprior District High School. And it's my pleasure to welcome you to our virtual Grade 8 Parent Night. Under normal circumstances, you'd be able to come in the building here and we'd be able to give you a tour, show you classrooms, show you facilities, and have you meet with students. But unfortunately, with COVID, that just isn't going to happen this time. So we've arranged for a virtual tour, courtesy of our guidance staff, with Mr. Phil Moore and Ms. Jane Grant. If after the tour you have any questions or concerns, feel free to email them or myself, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And with that, enjoy the tour.
Thanks, Mr. Havey. We're going to start by going through the contents of your registration package. There are a few items in your registration package that are for your information only and don't need to be returned to us. The items that do need to be returned to us are due by Friday, February 12th. These include the course selection sheet, and we'll be providing a bit more information in this presentation on how to make your selections, and the club and sports sign-up sheet. By signing up for these extracurricular activities, your child is not committing to doing these for sure, but instead the staff advisors of these activities will make sure that your child is invited to their first meeting so that they don't miss out. Also in the registration package for our RCDSB elementary schools, AJ, McNabb, and Zato, you should have a student verification form. Please indicate any changes that should be made and return this verification form to your child's current elementary school. If your child does not currently attend one of our RCDSB elementary schools, then you'll also need to complete a registration form. The link to the registration form is found on our board's website at the address shown on your screen. You might need to pause this video to write it down. If you're registering online, we'd also ask that you call ADHS at 613-623-3183, extension 223, so that we can confirm your registration. If you're unable to complete the registration form online, paper copies are also available and can be obtained by calling the number on your screen. A huge part of the high school experience is getting involved in activities outside the classroom. So to help our future students get an idea of extracurricular activities at ADHS, we've asked some students to speak to you about their involvement in clubs, sports, music, drama, and student government. We'll hear from our first student now and from the others later in the presentation. So here to talk to you first is grade 12 student Jeff Birmingham.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeff. I'm in grade 12 at ADHS, and I've just been asked to speak with you guys a little bit about extracurriculars. So I've been involved in 3 major groups of extracurriculars. So I was in band in grade 9. I got to go to concerts, learn how music and all that works. So that was definitely a really cool experience. Next was student council, or SAA is what we call it, the Student Activities Association. So it's a group of a bunch of leaders in your school who meet once a week to set up dances, other fun events, mental health weeks, spirit weeks. Definitely a really cool group of people who come together and make some fun activities for the rest of your classmates. So definitely something I would suggest for sure. And last of all is athletics. So I've been involved with tennis, badminton, volleyball, basketball, and soccer. So there's lots of benefits of playing sports for sure. Does get tough with morning practices sometimes in your senior years. But yeah, definitely a really cool experience. Get to miss some school, some away trips. Bus rides are always fun. And you get to make some connections with your teachers as well. So Miss Spratt, she's a really cool lady, coaches volleyball, and lots of other sports as well. Miss Wilson was my basketball coach, as well with Mr. Wyatt. He coaches a bunch of different things. Lots of other teachers in your school as well. You get to see them in the gym and then back in the classroom as well. So definitely something I would suggest there. Yeah, so it's definitely some exciting and nerve-wracking times coming into high school. It definitely was for me. and I'm feeling that all over again going into university next year. So I feel you guys, but good luck with everything. If ever you have questions or just want to reach out, you can always reach out to me on Instagram, or I'm sure you could find me some other way. But yeah, good luck with everything. Take care.
Thanks, Jeff. The next part of our presentation is going to walk you through the requirements to graduate from high school in Ontario. We'll look at courses specific to ADHS, and we'll discuss the different pathways that students have. There are currently 3 graduation requirements in Ontario. Students must earn 30 credits, obtain 40 community volunteer hours, and meet the literacy requirement. The provincial government has also announced a 4th requirement for 2 mandatory e-learning credits. We don't yet have information on when or how this will be implemented, but we understand that there will be some process for exemption. We'll let students and parents know more once we do. We'll now expand on each of the first 3 grad requirements. In Ontario, students must earn a total of 30 credits. 18 of these are compulsory, and all students must take these. The remaining 12 credits are electives. Students have a lot of choice in what they take for these credits. These choices will depend on the students' interests and what they're hoping to do after high school. Because ADHS is a bit bigger than other surrounding schools, we're able to offer a very wide variety of elective credits, some of which are listed here. In grade 9, many students will take the 8 credits listed here. Usually 4 of these will be in the first semester from September to January, and the other 4 will be in the second semester from February to June. I'll come back to these 8 credits shortly. When students select their courses, they will not only need to pick a subject, but for many courses, they'll also need to select one of the pathways. Students may select different pathways for different courses. For example, they may choose to take science in one pathway, but geography in a different one. I'll now list and describe the pathways in grades 9 and 10. The first pathway I'll discuss is academic. These courses focus more on theory. That's not to say that students won't also do practical activities or learn applications, but that the emphasis is more on theory. Students who select academic courses are perhaps looking ahead to university as a destination. This is because academic courses in grades 9 and 10 lead into the university preparation courses in grades 11 and 12. The next pathway is applied. While this stream does include some theory, it puts more of an emphasis on practical applications. Students who choose applied courses are perhaps looking ahead to completing a college program or doing an apprenticeship. These courses lead into the college prep courses in grades 11 and 12. Locally developed is the next pathway. Courses in this stream have more of an emphasis on the essential concepts and content of the subject. Students who choose locally developed may need more teacher support. Students in this stream may be looking ahead to going directly into the workplace after high school or completing an apprenticeship. These grade 9 and 10 courses lead into the workplace courses in grades 11 and 12. The final pathway in grades 9 and 10 is open. These courses are appropriate for all students, regardless of what other pathways they may choose. These courses lead into grade 11 and 12 courses for all destinations. Here again is the list of courses that many students in grade 9 at ADHS will take. For math, starting for this group of grade 8s, students will have 2 pathway choices next year, locally developed or de-streamed. Students who choose locally developed math in grade 9 will be able to move into locally developed math in grade 10. Those who choose the new de-streamed course will have the choice of selecting academic or applied math in grade 10. For English and science, students can choose academic or applied or locally developed. Geography has 2 pathways, academic or applied. French at ADHS will now have 4 pathways in grade 9. Students who have been in the extended French program in elementary school, or students who have strong French language skills from home, can choose Extended French in grade 9. I will discuss the Extended French program in more depth later. Other students who have had French instruction in elementary school can choose Academic or Applied. And students who are beginners with the French language can choose Open. For phys ed, students can select female or male, or for those in the Extended French program, they should select French phys ed. These open classes are all more sports-based, with students learning different team and individual sports. We also have another phys ed program called REAP, which I will discuss shortly. Students will select one of the arts credits. All 3 choices, music, drama, or visual art, are taught in the open pathway. The final choice for students will be between Introduction to Business or Exploring Technologies. These 2 courses are also both in the open pathway. ADHS offers both core and extended French. In the core French program, as I mentioned before, in addition to academic and applied, for next year we are also offering an open French in grade 9. This course is designed for beginners who have had very little or no previous instruction in French. Students who complete 4 years of core French have the option of taking the DELF test, which is recognized by post-secondary schools and in the business world. ADHS also has an extended French program. Students in this program would take at least 6 credits in French while in high school. They would take an extended French credit in each grade, and then they would also take phys ed in French in grade 9 and history in French in grade 10. Students who complete 4 years of extended French may also take the DELF test in grade 12. As I mentioned, we have a different phys ed program at ADHS other than the sports-based courses that students can take in grade 9 called the Rapids Exceptional Athlete Program, or REAP. This program is for students who would like to train for a specific sport or activity like hockey or dance or powerlifting. It's also for students who would like to focus more on personal fitness because REAP students will work on developing strength, conditioning, speed, and explosiveness. And REAP is also for students who would like to be more active, since REAP students will take 2 phys ed classes in grade 9 instead of just 1. Students who like REAP can continue to take these courses in grades 10 through 12. A typical grade 9 timetable for students in REAP will include 6 of the same courses I described before, including one of the 3 mandatory arts credits. Then they will take a REAP fitness class in each semester. For students in extended French who also would like to take REAP, our plan is to have these students take the 1 French phys ed class in one semester and one of the REAP fitness classes in the other. We also have alternative programming non-credit courses for students who are not working towards earning a high school diploma. Students in these programs will learn life skills and skills for transitioning to life after high school. For more information about these programs, please contact our CERT or Special Education Resource Teacher, Sarah Delahunt, at the email address on your screen. The second graduation requirement is to complete 40 community volunteer hours. I'm going to go through some of the do's and don'ts for accumulating these hours. For the do's, students are able to start earning volunteer hours in the summer immediately after graduating from grade 8. In fact, the sooner students complete these hours, the easier it is. Our experience has been that as students move into the upper grades, they have less time available for volunteering. There are many organized activities in Arnprior that normally look for students to volunteer. Students can help out with these organizations, or they can complete their volunteer hours more informally, perhaps by helping an elderly neighbor with yard work or shoveling. For the don'ts, volunteer hours cannot be for paid employment. They also can't be a requirement for a class. So if your class is doing a yard cleanup, for example, those can't count as volunteer hours. You can't miss class to complete volunteer hours, but if perhaps you want to volunteer your time as a tutor at lunch, that would be okay. Finally, the chores that you normally have to do at home don't count. nor does your time spent as a participant in a club or as an athlete on a sports team. However, if you're helping out as a coach for younger players, for example, that would count. One of the items you'll receive from us over the summer is a tracking sheet for recording volunteer hours. Our school website also has a link to a blank tracking sheet. The final condition for students to graduate is to meet the literacy requirement. Many students will do this by passing the literacy test, which takes place in the spring of the student's grade 10 year. This test is based on grade 9 English expectations, so students should be ready for the test by the second half of grade 10. ADHS also provides support to students to help them prepare for this test. Students who do not pass the literacy test can take it a second time. Students who do not pass on either their first or second attempt have another option to meet the literacy requirement, and that is to take the grade 12 literacy course. When they pass this course, it not only counts as their literacy requirement, but also as one of their 30 credits. That concludes our look at Ontario's graduation requirements. If you have any questions, email addresses will be listed at the end of the presentation. We'll now hear from 3 more students about their involvement in extracurriculars at ADHS, this time in the arts. Here are Kirsten McMullen, Joel Neville, and Abby Wellbanks.
Hi guys, we're all part of the music program at ADHS and we wanted to talk to you guys about it. My name is Abby, I'm in grade 11 and I've been a part of the arts and music program at ADHS since grade 9. I was part of our choir Red Velvet with Kirsten, and now I'm part of the Songwriters Club with Joel. I was also part of our Mamma Mia musical production in grade 9 and our variety night last year. I loved being a part of it all, and I made some good friends along the way. And that's pretty much it from me.
Hi guys, I'm Joel. I'm a grade 12 at ADHS and I took band all the way through. So it started off with band class in grade 9, and in grade 10 we won nationals with senior band, and the atmosphere of practices was always good. Currently, I'm in the Songwriters Club with Mr. Visser with a couple of buddies where we just come together and play music. Mr. Visser is our new music teacher, and he's a great guy, very approachable, and it's exciting to see what he'll do for us in the future.
Hey guys, I'm Kirsten and I'm one of the art ministers here at ADHS. So one of my roles as art minister is organizing coffee houses. So if you don't know what they are, coffee houses are basically a safe place for you to perform anything from singing to playing your favorite instrument to even reading poetry. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely be aware for when we host them. Because getting involved with anything here that we offer at ADHS is a great way to make lifelong friends while doing something you love.
Thanks so much, Kirsten, Joel, and Abby. We'd now like to take you on a virtual tour of ADHS. We'll start by heading inside the school through our front doors. On the left when we come in is the main office. Our secretarial staff and our principal and vice principal work in these offices. Next, on the right, we come to the resource room. Students with IEPs can get extra help and work in this room. Next door is student services. The guidance counselors and student success teacher are located here. Students can come to student services to get help with work completion, course selections, timetable changes, plans for after high school, and help with personal problems they may be experiencing. Across the hall is our library. Here, students will find many areas to work, as well as comfy couches where they can sit and read. Students can also sign out a Chromebook from the librarian to use at lunch or during a class while they're at school. Heading around the corner, we find the robotics room. It may look a bit messy, but there's a lot of work that goes on here by both the Robotics Club and the robotics classes as they design, build, and program robots. Next door is the Life Skills and Transitions classroom. The EAs and teachers here help to prepare the students in these classes for life after high school. Back out in the main hallway, we come to the weight room. All of our phys ed classes make use of this room, and so too do some of our sports teams. Students can also use this room for their own workouts at lunch and some days after school. Next door is the REAP room. Our Rapids Exceptional Athlete Program classes use this room to work on strength, agility, and flexibility. Across the hall is our small gym, which is used by our phys ed classes and sports teams, and also by our drama classes and extracurricular arts program. Here we see a performance by one of our bands. Next, our stage is being used by our most recent drama production, last year's variety show. Finally, our school choir, Red Velvet, performs on the small gym stage. As we walk further down the long hall towards the back of our school, we come to the science classrooms. Here we see one of Mr. Wyatt's classes conducting a chemistry experiment. Across the hall from the science classrooms is the drama classroom. Students in drama classes and extracurriculars use this space to practice and get ready for performances. Next, we arrive at our big gym. This space is used by our phys ed classes and by our sports teams. We are also sometimes able to bring the whole school together here for assemblies. In this picture, we see our junior girls basketball team, who are already leading 20-2 in the first quarter. Here's our big gym again, this time looking towards the back of the school and the balcony. This is our senior boys volleyball team, who are also winning. Across the hall from the big gym is our school cafeteria. On the left, you can see the space where students eat, and on the right is the servery. Students can purchase their lunch here, or they can bring it from home. As we move towards the back of the school, we come to the tech classrooms. Here we see the woodworking shop. Students in these classes can work on making cabinets and furniture. Here's the construction shop. In these classes, students work on building construction, including framing and wiring. And here's the auto shop. Students in these transportation tech classes work on small engines, vehicles, and welding. If we go out the back doors of the school, we get to our sports areas. On the left, you can see an aerial view of Oates Field, our track, and our 3 tennis courts. Our tennis courts are snow-covered now, but our phys ed classes and tennis team look forward to getting back on the court. Around the field is our brand new rubberized track. Our track team hasn't been able to use it yet, but our grads took pictures there in June. We're excited to get out on our track once COVID is over. And of course, inside our track is Oates Field. Here we see one of our football teams playing on the field last fall, likely winning. Now we've headed back inside and up to our second floor. In this picture, you can get an idea of how long our hallway is. This is just one small section. Here we see a picture of our computer lab, which is used by the CommTech and Robotics classes, as well as others. Next, we'll head into the CommTech, or Communications Technology classrooms. Here, students work on the yearbook, photography, web design, radio production, and creating videos, including using the green screen in the studio. Our Announcements Club also makes use of the studio to present the morning announcements via YouTube each day. As we head towards the front of the school, we come to the music rooms. Here, we see the instrumental music room, where students are able to learn to play guitar and the concert band instruments. Next door is the keyboarding lab. There are a lot of pianos in this room. We have classes in grades 10 through 12 where students can learn to play the piano. Around the corner is the foods room. There are several full kitchens within this room where students in the foods classes can learn about nutrition and food preparation techniques. As we head down the hallway, we arrive at the 2 visual arts classrooms. Students in art classes in every grade can experiment with sketching, painting, printmaking, ceramics, and pottery. Finally, we head back downstairs to the front of ADHS where we began our tour. We hope we've been able to give you a feel for the school that we're so proud of. Our final student who is going to speak about their extracurricular experiences is grade 12 student Austin Herrick.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Austin Herrick, and I'm in grade 12 here at ADHS. Since I was a kid, I have always been fascinated with machines. When I heard that ADHS had a robotics club, I was very excited to join. I have been a part of the robotics club since grade 9, and I have enjoyed every minute of it. When I first joined, I had very little knowledge as to how a robot works. The other members of the team, though, they were very willing to teach me the basics. In grade 9, I did not do much for the team, but when grade 10 came around, I was more experienced and became the head maintenance person for the robot at the competition. Last year, I took the class and designed the ball pickup system for the robot. That was very fun. As you can tell, I am very interested in the physical components of the robot, but that is not all there is to do. There are plenty of other parts of the team, such as people who wire the robot or the people who code the robot. No matter what you like, there is a place for you on the team, and it is a very inclusive and enjoyable environment. I have met many of my friends through this club, and I think it was one of the most enjoyable parts of my high school experience.
Thanks, Austin. Before we finish our presentation, we'd like to provide you with some contact email addresses should you have questions that we haven't yet answered. If you have questions about your child's course selections or timetable, we divide our guidance students alphabetically. So if your child has a last name between A and K, please reach out to me, Ms. Jane Grant. And if their last name is between L and Z, please contact Mr. Phil Moore. For information about IEPs or the Alternative Learning Program, please contact Ms. Sarah Delahunt. And for general inquiries, please email our principal, Mr. Tom Havey. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Grade 8 Parent Night presentation. In September, we hope to see you and your child as part of our ADHS family. For more information about our school and our programs, please check out our school website. The address is on your screen. Thanks again.